You hear that? In the distance, you hear the song of the cicadas. As I sit down and drink my coffee, take in the sounds of nature, I hear the nuances of life. Birds chirping, flying, scampering around in the atmosphere. But it is the cicada that has the best symbology, but always overlooked. Because the cicada historically takes 17 years to be birthed, only to live for a season in which it grows, it sheds, and then it dies. Just with that aspect alone, family, it makes me think that is an example of life. It represents growth. It represents transparency, as well as the importance to always remain grounded, no matter what. No matter the adversity, no matter the celebration, your highs, your lows, it's always about growth. And sometimes we're lucky that we see the evidence of the progress of the cicada. Uninhibited, you may be out and about and you see the remnants or the remains of where once it was. Always intact, but its body is gone. This is what evolution is about, to constantly grow. So how are you doing, family? How's your weekend going thus far? How was your week? This is a celebration of the actions that we're taking to get to the weekend. And I hope that wherever you are celebrating by giving yourself rest, allowing solace to be present, to process as well as acknowledge works still yet to be completed. It defines your direction as well as validates your path. This is what makes your legacy. So there's a responsibility that must come because of your legacy. This is works that only you, for you are the builder of your legacy, that must complete. Yes, granted, sometimes it can be daunting. It can be downright frightening because of the uncertainty of what's to come, what's found around the corner, and what is left to be acknowledged. But that's okay. That's okay. And I say that simply because for every milestone, there's always a marking in your life. Just look over your shoulder. Just think back when. And then acknowledge your foundation of where you are now. That's progress. That's your validation. And it is what has defined the makings of you. So I'm sitting out, sipping on my coffee, allowing my mind to unwind and go with the breeze. Just like you, I know there's been many things that have occurred in the last 7 days. Some spontaneous, some uneventful, some with impact, but all with validation. And I know sometimes we may have a plateau in our lives where we feel that things are mundane, the same old, same old. But when you think about it, it really isn't. It really is not. So, we are in summer now, family. If you blink back twice, it was the beginning of the year. Now think back to January 1 of this year, 2019. Think back to what was demanding your attention. And think back to those that had it. Now look at where you are now. It seems like it was just yesterday you were there. But also, you have to give yourself praise and honor because you have traveled thus far. If you really think back, or you were able to measure every step, every conversation, every interaction that you were brought front and center to witness, you would be amazed. That's a lot to process. That's a lot to grasp. But that's what makes life so incredible. Now, I can flip it because you may be in a position where you say, well, you know, Gerald, nothing has changed. Steady is the course. And maybe you're looking for to add a little reinventing of yourself, a little spice to life, so to speak. That's okay. Because this is also what change looks like. And that's all right. Why? Because from a perspective of those that look at things literally, it is also the best example or definition of time management too. It's also what is required for the measurement of the value of your life, your time. Something that is priceless, something that cannot be captured in a bottle prospectively. That is why you should always smile. This also validates what's to come, family. We are in the precursor, even though we're in the summer, of the things that are going to occur, or the setup that we will be taking on in the fall. Because the summertime is only just a mere moment. It is the harvest season. All efforts that were manifested in the beginning of the year, those seeds have come to harvest. Those seeds have bared fruit. May they be sweet or may they be mundane. It is the efforts and the extensions of ourselves. Now, not to sound blase blah, because I know some of you are going to find this video and like, well, Gerald, I hear what you're saying, but you're talking in parables again. And it is my responsibility to reach the intended heart and mind at the intended level. And I can spin it. I can definitely spin it. And I'm going to do so in a second. I hope that wherever you are, family, you are happy. I hope wherever you may be, it brings you strength and courage to take that one more step to personify who you are. You realize how many people in this planet I think we're like 7.9 billion people on the planet, I think. I gotta check. But 50% of those people dread their lives. And the sad thing about it is they acknowledge the status of their life, but have a commitment to not change it. Will not invest in it. But when you think about it, family, the emotional shackles that are connected to your lineage, some may know them as generational bindings or generational curses. Maybe you are the one that is going to break them. Maybe everything thus far that has got you to this point was the precursor to change the trajectory of the story of your life, the story of your family, the story of your lineage. It will also set up the template and the guidance of those who share your bloodline to look upon. The people that you will never meet, not in this realm, but you will see them in the spiritual realm when it's time. So why am I saying this, family? Because, excuse me, I have to be picking in my nose. We can all agree one defined thing. Life is too short, fam. It's too short. So if you're allowing a fear to inundatedly absorb your efforts, it is also robbing you of your smile. It is also taking up real estate in your subconscious as well. So you got to ask yourself, is it because you are familiar and that is the only thing that you may know? Maintaining the status quo? Or is it preparation for things that are going to be revealed, that are going to not only surpass what you could mentally fathom, if you just decide now's the time. Just like you may be able to hear in the distance. See there? You hear it? That's the cicada. And as it sings, and still to this day, people don't know what the purpose of its existence is. Why does something that is living take 17 years only to live for a season? Why go through the process? Because it was meant. It has a role. It has a purpose. No different than the butterfly. If the butterfly knew every time that it flew or drifted on the current of the wind, that the journey that it had to take before it was even in the cocoon it would celebrate every time it flapped its wings. Maybe that's your life. Because everybody brings something to the table. But it's up to you to define it. It's up to you to see the value and the uniqueness of yourself. Just like there's no two diamonds that are the same, there's no two lives that are the same. That's why your smile is unique, and your smile will light up the room. But it's also a choice. Sometimes situations, that's not the time and place for it. And that's okay. That's okay. So I hope this summer, family, wherever you are, you give yourself permission to process. Allow yourself to be vulnerable, to survey all the things that had an impact. Just, we could start small. We could say all the things that had an impact in the last 90 days. Weigh them. Then after you finish the 90 days, look at what the derivative was of the placement. Go back another 90 days. And then next thing you know, process it a little deeper till you get to the first of the year. And once you get to the first of the year, look at where you are today and tell me you won't smile. Some of you may have had to find the courage to find acceptance. Some of you may have had to make choices that you thought that you were unable to do. Some of you may have finally allowed yourself to be still and acknowledge your voice. That's for somebody. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and ramble, excuse me. I'm not going to do that. And before I forget, I want to shout out all those people that had a part in the development, may it be directly or indirectly, but it came from your heart, and you had a loved one graduate. Congratulations. This is a major milestone that will always be treasured in their lives, because that is selfless, and is also the epitome of who you are, no matter what. So I would love to hear from you guys. Just like all my videos, each one teach one, feel free to share. If there's somebody that you know that may need validation at where they're at, if you have any questions or concerns, of course, you gotta hit the like button. Drop me a line, and I'll try my best to be as punctual and respond just as quick as you sent them. But I hope you see the symbology of the summer. It is very impactful. It must come to pass. And I know some of you may be in areas where weather is, you have to deal with these floods, you got to deal with these wind shifts and stuff. But guess what? That is also nothing more but an example of the human experience. Sometimes you may be in a place where you think you are strong, and all of a sudden one linchpin of a decision tests the stability of it. That's okay. What's required is you acknowledge where you are, the now. Acknowledge it. Because when you decide to acknowledge what is going on, all that does is empower you to make the choices that are needed. That's okay. You don't need permission from anybody to be you. Like-minded attracts like-minded or likeness. But imitation is not flattery. So, it's Sunday morning. The sun's out. And you're alive. This is preparation for the next 7 days. So what are you going to do with it? Don't let nobody steal your smile, steal your joy. Empower yourself and speak your truth. Be blessed, fam. Love to hear from you. Bye.